Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Further Beyond Gaming. My name is Cody GT, and in today's video we're going to be continuing the series of which Bronya is the best Bronya. So I do hope you enjoy the video. If you do, go ahead and drop a like, it's greatly appreciated, it means a lot to me. And if you're new to the channel, you enjoy what you see today, go ahead and consider subscribing. Now, before we do jump into the video, just a quick announcement. Did want to go ahead and mention that last night I was supposed to go live. I was trying to go live and I was not able to, and I do apologize. I ran into some extreme technical difficulties because I haven't gone live in such a long time. I did not have my system set up the way I normally do to go live, so I was just running into problems after problems. So I do apologize about that, but I want to go ahead and quickly announce that I will be going live tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I hope to see you guys there, and I will be going live for Genshin Impact. So I hope to see you guys there, and I hope you guys come out. It should be a great time. And once again, I do apologize about not being able to go live last night. But anyways, with that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and talk about Bronya. Which Bronya is the best Bronya? So we're going to go, of course, worst to best, like we do with each and every character. And with Bronya, it's a little bit more difficult because, as I realized, there's a lot of Bronyas in the game. Come to find out. But if I was to go with the worst to, in my opinion, the best, I would probably have to start out with first the worst, and that would have to be Snowy Sniper. Now, just in my opinion. Now, in the beginning of Honkai Impact 3, the early game, Snowy Sniper was such a great Valkyrie for Abyss, because you can do a lot of crowd control with this character. So basically the meta was to pull all the characters in, then use Snowy Sniper's ult to be able to freeze them, and then you would just go in with your DPS character and just mow them down in a sense. But it's not really a viable tactic or strategy. I mean, it could be. It actually still could be a viable tactic or strategy, but it's just not one that's gonna, you know, really push you through, especially the harder stages and things of that nature, because there's just better Valkyries that you could just crowd control and then just DPS them down. You don't really need two crowd controllers anymore. So Snowy Sniper, in my opinion, has fell off as we've gotten into the later game, but she is still a great Valkyrie, one that I still, you know, enjoy from time to time. I don't use her as often as I used to, but let me know down in the comments down below if you guys do. Now the next one that I would have to go to for the next Valkyrie that's not as great, it's probably second to worst, and this is just in my opinion, would have to be Dimension Breaker. So Dimension Breaker, being a natural S rank, especially early game, was one of the best Valkyries you can have on your team because of her natural switch in. When she switches in naturally without a QT or anything like that, she was able to time lock the enemies and keep them in place for you, so then you could just go in with your DPS character. But Dimension Breaker, her kit and what she brings to the table has kind of fallen off as well. Early game, she was top tier. Late game, she has just fallen off, so she's not as great anymore. But she's still a good Valkyrie. If you're starting the game, you could pick her up and use her, and she'll work out well for you. But she just needs some buff to her kits. Maybe something to make her a little more relevant in today's meta. But still a great Valkyrie, one that I use a lot early game. I used her a lot, but she's still great. She's still a great Valkyrie. Now, moving on from there, the next one that I would have to go ahead and speak about is Black Nucleus. So Black Nucleus would be the next one that I would go ahead and put in this tier list. Now, Black Nucleus, when early game, she was absolutely fantastic, especially for Memorial Arena. She was able to one-shot certain bosses, and that made her really relevant on your team. The thing that held Black Nucleus back is that, one, even early game, she was known to be a Valkyrie that cost a lot of money, because not only did you have to pull her because she's a natural S rank, but secondly, you had to pull her gear to make her relevant, and that cost a lot. So you needed all of her top tier gear to really get the best potential outcome or the best potential damage out of this Valkyrie. And for a lot of people, especially early game, that was just not a possibility. And she came out fairly early in Honkai Impact 3, at least on the global side. As a natural S rank, she was probably one of the second or third natural S ranks that you could summon for. So she was early in the game, and it was just difficult to fully gear her out. But she was extremely relevant for Memorial Arena, for particular bosses to one-shot them. But outside of that, not really a whole lot of utility. And so she was just not all that great anywhere else. But, you know, Black Nucleus, I put her here because she's, I don't know, I'm biased. She's cool looking. She's awesome. I hope she gets some buffs. She did get an augmented version, or not augmented, excuse me, a pre-arm for her signature weapon, the Star Destroyer 19C, which made her a little bit cooler. But outside of that, not much else to speak upon when it comes to Black Nucleus. She's cool, but she's not really all that great in my opinion. So that's why I go ahead and I put her there. Now moving on from there, the next one I would have to go ahead and speak about is Valkyrie Chariot. Now, Valkyrie Chariot has been one of those Valkyries that have stood the test of time. Her kit just made her extremely relevant, being a natural B. I think she was a natural B rank, like with Crimson Impulse and White Comet, if I'm not mistaken. And she was the third character you obtained in the game after Crimson Impulse. She was the best out of the original three: White Comet, Crimson Impulse, and Valkyrie Chariot. Valkyrie Chariot by far was the best out of the three because of her kit, her crowd control with her ultimate, pulling all the enemies in, having them bleed. She's able to do immense amount of damage if you have the right team composition, the right Sigmatas, and the right weapon. She was able to mow down some Memorial Arena bosses. She was great on a lot of team combinations. And to this day, Valkyrie Chariot is still a great Valkyrie to go ahead and use. If you really don't have anything else, you could definitely throw her in there, especially being a psychic type. She's great support, great DPS if you need her to be. All around, she's just a great Valkyrie. She doesn't have really an applicable weapon or an applicable Stigmata set. You could just really throw on what you feel is best for the situation and then kind of go at it. So Valkyrie Chariot stood the test of time. Really good Valkyrie. I like her a lot. I'm sure most of you guys do as well. She's pretty awesome. Now moving on from there, I would have to go with Wolf Dawn, strictly for the support capabilities that she provides for elemental Valkyries. She's just, because of that reason alone, she's in this, she's here on the tier list for best Bronya. I put her third because of her utility, being a support for the elemental types, being able to make each elemental type of Valkyrie that much more viable, be able to allow them to output more damage. She does pretty good on her own as well, and her ultimate is pretty cool also. She has some pretty good survivability, but in my opinion, because of her support capabilities, what she's able to bring to the team and why you would actually have her on the team is what makes her a good Bronya to have, and one to go ahead and invest in. As you can see, I haven't invested in her. I just don't use her enough, but she's great. She really is good. If you want to buff up your elemental Valkyries, she would be one to go ahead and use. So I put her there. That's where I would put her. And then moving on from there, Yamabuki Armor or Drive Komata. I'm gonna go ahead and lump these two in the same category. If I was to separate them, it would be Yamabuki Armor and then Drive Komata, in my opinion. But I'm just gonna go ahead and lump them in the same category. Do I have? Yeah, I have the core on. So this is Drive Komata, Yamabuki Armor's augmented version. I'm sure you guys know. I put her here because she is such a good Valkyrie, especially as Drive Komata augmented. The barrier that she provides for not only herself but all the other Valkyries is invaluable. Is that the right word? I think that's the right word. It's something that you really, it's great for you. It's super good. It allows the team to be able to survive with their survivability. Allows them to take less damage. She heals the team upon her ultimate for more HP. She's just a great supporting Valkyrie as a whole. As Drive Komata, she can be a pseudo crowd control where she could pull the enemies in for you. her kit is just absolutely amazing. She does some pretty decent damage herself if you have her geared properly. She fits on a bunch of team combinations. Drive Komata, Yamabuki armor. I put her here just at a straight straight usefulness and what she provides the team. I think she's absolutely fantastic. And then last, but I'm sure not least, and to no one's surprise, the Ursha of the Reason, in my opinion, is the best Valkyrie in the game as of right now, at least. You know, what is there to say about this Valkyrie? You can literally use her in every single scenario. She could be a Valkyrie that you could solo Memorial Arena bosses, solo Abyss with at certain tiers. Her kit is just absolutely amazing. When they made this Valkyrie, they literally went all out for this one. I mean, look at the graph. Her damage is off the charts. Her burst is off the charts. Her survivability is off the charts. Her ease, she's an easy Valkyrie to use. You can pick her up and use her really easily. She doesn't provide a whole lot of support, but I mean, she doesn't need to. She's the team herself. She's just amazing. Her ultimate does a lot of damage. Her basic attacks do a lot of damage. Her charge attacks do a lot of damage. You can trigger Time Fracture even if you're like half a second to a second late triggering it. It still triggers. She has damage reduction everywhere. She has Ignore Interrupt. If she's getting hit from behind, she has damage reduction there. She takes less damage. On her fourth or third attack, she's taking less damage. I believe it's her fourth. Her fourth attack is pseudo crowd control, where it pulls the enemies in. I mean, she literally does everything, and she rides a bike. And she rides a bike. Right there should be enough for you. But of course, Ursha the Reason, Cyber Angel Bronya, in my opinion, best Valkyrie in the game. She is absolutely amazing. If you're first starting the game, if you're asking me which Valkyrie that you need to go for, Ursha the Reason, Cyber Angel Bronya is the Valkyrie. She will literally carry you through all of Honkai Impact 3, even up till now, late game. She will carry you through anything. She's amazing. What else can I say? But that is my list, guys. Let me know in the comments down below, what is yours? I'm really curious to see what you guys have as your list. I'm sure it's going to be vastly different than mine, but that's what makes this awesome, and that's why I like this series. So remember, live stream tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Genshin Impact. I will be live streaming that. I'm extremely excited. I cannot wait to see everybody out there, and that's it. I'm gonna get out of here. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. And until next time, my boys, until next time, it's your homie Cody GT, and I'm out.